What we have next is the MREA economic plan. This is also referred to as the economic model that is in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, authored by Gary Keller. We ask that you fill this out so that you can get an idea of how many closings you're going to need to have and how many appointments you will need in order to reach the goal that you have set for yourself. Please notice that most of these are already filled out with formulas, and we don't want you touching them. You will fill out certain highlighted fields, and I will show you which those are. Also, please notice here that your cap is already figured into this. So we're making sure that the money you are calculating is what you will actually be receiving. This is before taxes. So if, for instance, you had a gross commission income, GCI, you will hear that term a lot, GCI, of $50,000, after your cap, you would be bringing home $16,500 for the year before taxes. Let's say you actually want to have $50,000 in your pocket after your cap. So let's see what $75,000 in a GCI would give us. Oops, 750. That would be great. 75. That gives us $35,000. Let's go up to 90. 46.5. 95. 50,000. So if you had gross commission income of $95,000, you would, after your cap and after these business expenses that are right here, have $50,250 before taxes. So now let's go and see what that would look like and what that would be made up of. You split your activity between sellers and buyers. I would say that typically for a brand new agent, it usually happens to be more buyer heavy than seller heavy. So for now, this is how I'm going to fill this out. 25% sellers, 75% buyers. So now the calculations have run through, and they are telling us that you will receive $23,750 from sellers and $71,250 from buyers, right? Those two numbers added together add up to this $95,000. Does that make sense? Okay. So now we have to divide it by our commission / professional fee, which is also a term that you can use. You don't have to say commission. There is no standard number. There's no typical number. It's always negotiable. For the sake of this example, I'm going to say 3%, right? On both sides. I might be wrong, but I think as an average in this office, our average is 2.9 or something like that. So it's pretty close. Okay, so now this is calculating and telling us that $791,666.67 is the volume that's going to come from sales, and 2.3 million is the volume that's going to come from buyers. Volume means the value of the properties you have sold. Okay, so on the buyer side, in order to earn $71,250 at a 3% commission, you will have helped people purchase $2.375 million worth of property. Okay, so now we have to figure out what is the average sales price. It varies. It's going to depend on the cities that you think that you'll be doing most of your business in. I would say that on average right now in the coaching program, it's probably around 220 to 250. So we're just going to say 220 to play it safe. Okay. And we'll do the same thing over here. So we know that in order to earn this 23,000 at 3%, we're going to sell 791,000 worth of property. If our average property is priced at 220,000, we know that we're going to have to close 3.6 homes on the sell side. And on the buy side, you're going to have to close 10.8 homes. Now, we always know that you can't round a home, but we'll get that, to that at the bottom. Then we talk about conversion rates. This is the conversion rate from when they are signed up with you to when they actually close. Not every house that is listed for sale actually sells, and not every buyer that signs with you and wants to purchase a home is going to find a home for a myriad of reasons. Inventory is low, their approval might have fallen apart, they lost their job, they got frustrated, they decided not to look anymore, they can't get what they thought they could get for the amount that they have, or on the selling side, they decide not to move, or they weren't really motivated and they were priced way too high, so the house expired. There are lots of reasons. But the point is, not everything that you sign actually closes. So, what is that conversion rate? So on the sell side right now, because inventory is low, I would make that a little bit higher. And I'm actually going to put that at 85%. On the buyer side, it is difficult to find homes because of lack of inventory and multiple transaction situations. So I am actually going to keep that number at that 70%. So based on that now, if we're looking at the buy side, we are going to have to actually have 15.42 buyers committed to us signing buyer's agency agreements at a 70% conversion rate. 10.8 of them will actually close. Does that make sense? On the other side, 4.23 sellers actually want to sell a house. 85% of them actually close, which leaves us with 3.6 that closed. Not 85% of them, but, well, yeah, that's the conversion rate. So let's go further down. Now, the next step, rolling backwards, is in order to get a buyer or a seller to sign a contract with you, first you have to meet with them, right? You have to have an appointment. So here for brand new agents, it could be 60-40, it could be 50-50. You're going to get half of them, you're not. It depends. This is actually a piece where you have quite a bit of control over as time moves forward, as you practice your appointments and practice your scripts and get better at handling objections. You can influence that conversion rate and bring it more into your favor. If your conversion rate is 100%, the argument to that is that you're not going on enough appointments and you're only going on the easy slam dunks. So we'll keep it at 60%. That brings us to you need 7 listing appointments. This is annually. And you need 25 buyer appointments, right? In order to have 4.23 sellers, 15.42 buyers, which will then end up being 3.6 actually closed, 10.8 actually closed at 220, and then they bring us these volumes, which bring us this gross revenue. So those are annual numbers. Excuse me. And now we're going to look at monthly. So these last 2 lines here are telling us that you need 0.59 seller listing appointments per month. So we're going to say 1. You need 1 listing seller appointment a month, and you need 2.14 buyers. 3, right? Always round up. So between sellers and buyers, you need 4 appointments a month. That's 1 a week. So when you break it down like this, it really becomes something that's more manageable. It's not scary, and you can certainly reach the goals, whatever they may be, that you have set for yourself. So in this particular example, zero point 0.63 appointments a week, 2.73 a month, which, if you're doing this consistently, will turn into a closing a month, a little more than that. 14 to 15 closings per year, and your volume would be 3.16 million. Um, and 263,000 per month volume. Okay. So I would like for you guys to go through this after you've done your budgeting and your allocation of funds and understanding how much money you actually need and then how much money you want, and put this together so that you have a goal to strive for when it comes to your appointments.